What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Study Hall here on UFS University. My name's Tam, and I'm joined by Cody and Oliver and Tyler. What Study Hall is, for the uninitiated, we have taken a bunch of your guys' UFS topics as well as some of our own, and we sit down and we discuss them for your amusement, entertainment, and knowledge. So with that said, this is topic 4 of the week, and this is the chill out section of this podcast. We're bringing this baby into the station, and what I want to talk about is something I know nothing about, and that's Soul Calibur.
Okay.
We know nothing about the card game Soul Calibur, but you two have some fairly... You've played Soul Calibur, yes? Have you played Soul Calibur 6?
Yeah.
Perfect. Have you played Soul Calibur 6 at all?
Not 6, but I know some of the characters in them.
Perfect. I have not played Soul Calibur since 7th grade in middle school. I played Soul Calibur 2 on the PlayStation.
Aww.
I know. I'm bummed. I'm one of the biggest Legend of Zelda fans I know, and I've never played as Link. And you've never played Soul Calibur, correct?
I did play for like 5 minutes. A very old when I was like in middle school.
Yeah, let's go. So the questions that I have, and let's try and keep it as on topic, although I'm fairly positive this is going to go off the rails. What I need from you is, what do you think Soul Calibur is going to bring to the game? You can talk it as broad or as specific as you'd like, understanding these are wild guesses. We've done this with every set we've had so far.
Weapon attacks.
Well,
Everything's going to be a goddamn weapon attack.
Yep.
Everything.
Yep.
Guess how many punchy characters there are? 0.
None?
There's not a lot of... Maxie would probably be the most punchy character. The dude with nunchucks.
There's no M in that word. It's none.
None. Did I say
None.
nunchucks?
Yeah, you're like nunchucks.
Nunchucks.
You know what happens when they hit you? You go numb.
It's when they chuck them at you.
Yeah.
You don't know. That's why they're called nunchucks. Nunchucks.
Because nuns use them.
Right, they're holy.
I think that's the only punchy character.
Maxie was the only character that I played as, actually.
Yep.
In the games. It was Matsu and Mitsurugi. And Keelik. Keelik's got the bow, right?
Keelik's the bow staff.
Yeah, Keelik was hype.
Uh,
Are there any range stuff? Do we get the range keyword?
Range?
Because I'm pretty sure like that's part of the reason like Link was so good was because he had like arrows, yeah?
I'm trying to think of who has really
Arrows,
cool-
bomb,
Yeah,
boomerang.
really.
And so
I'm
like
trying to think.
we didn't play it. There's not a fireball game, is there?
oh Jesus!
You think we're getting Geralt?
No.
No.
I wish. Geralt is in Soul Calibur 6.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Geralt does have a ranged attack.
Mm-hmm. I think there's not a specific character that's all considered ranged, but each of them has a ranged attack of some shape or form.
I'm trying to think of like other characters that have a ranged attack. I can't think of any other ones other than Geralt.
Yeah.
Geralt just has like the lightning ball that just goes straight, and then everybody else is like...
They have moves that get them in fast. That's the most range that they have. Moves that just bring them in real quick. Like I know Tiara has a one where she just jumps up and just brings her circle sword in.
Is that the girl that teleports?
No. She has a circle sword, and it's like a hula hoop.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
The hula hoop girl.
Yep.
She's my favorite character, the hula hoop girl.
Is there any UFS characters or any UFS support that supports weapons really, really hard?
Death.
Death weapon at least used to be a thing. I believe. I mean, all of Alice's support. So all death, evil weapons are very good.
Yeah, because I think like any character right now, if there's a character that's in standard that has like a lot of weapon support, that seems like it could be abused if they just get more of it.
Katana.
Yeah, katana stuff.
So I think any character that has a weapon support is probably going to get Pimp My Ride. Exhibit's going to take a visit.
Nightman, who's not Flail Man, which is what I wanted to call him.
Yes. Flail Man. Yeah, he's got weapon slam stuff. I expect a bunch of fury stuff. I'm just not like punch kick range tech is going to be non-existent. They're not going to do any tech.
I want Siegfried real bad.
I feel like Siegfried's coming in. Him and Nightmare.
Is there an action card called Parry?
There might be from old sets. We can look it up.
Soul Calibur, if they're gonna make like a universal action card, Parry would probably be one of those.
Yeah, I'd feel parry would be a big one. Yeah, because that's the biggest part of that game is being able to parry
forward.
Parry EX card. Those are big like common knowledge terms that people use.
There's like 20 Soul Calibur sets.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure some of them are just like from the little starter deck things.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not gonna look up the word parry. You're just gonna look through every card. I
Yeah,
dig it.
Why not?
Why not?
All right.
I think like I'm a little worried about the limitation of keywords. Like one of my favorite things about the Mortal Kombat set is I actually felt like every keyword was represented. I cannot think of a keyword besides maybe safe that was like not well represented. But we've also had like there were some random safe cards so that characters like base and whatnot could be used.
I think there's gonna be like some characters that might get a lot of range keywords if they have like Khalik will probably have like a range keyword of some sort just because he has that freaking staff that goes a mile away. Anybody that has like any of that kind of like long range attacks, I feel just will get it slammed on with a ranged keyword. And then throw, if they make Astaroth will be very throw heavy.
Yeah.
Same thing as Siegfried. Siegfried will probably have range. It's like biggest sword on the planet. I'm assuming
Nightmare as well.
I'm assuming Siegfried's going to be in the game and Nightmare's going to be in the game, which will be probably really dope.
Who are the two characters on the sleeves?
Siegfried and
Sophia?
Sophetia.
Yeah,
Something like that, yeah.
Sophie.
Sophia.
Yeah, they are confirmed, and I'm fairly positive it was confirmed that they are the two decks that fight each other.
Okay.
Whenever we get the starter decks.
Those are probably two of my favorite characters in Soul Calibur. I really just like Sword and Shield Girl. That's what I call her because she has a sword and a shield.
Yeah.
And it's the only character that has a sword and a shield. Even though I played Geralt in that game.
Because you're a fanboy.
No, because he's nuts.
Damn it, I don't know what you're talking
Sounds about right.
Soul Calibur 5, Dampierre, let's go.
They also from Soul Calibur 5, they didn't bring in the character that I played, which was, I think, Viola was what her name was. Is that her name in Soul Calibur 5? The girl with the orb.
I feel like it, yeah.
Yeah.
That's Manat from Street Fighter.
We're not talking about Street
the
Fighter.
actual same character, though.
Yeah.
The ones in Soul Calibur.
Yeah.
I'm trying to...
Do you think Yoshimitsu's going to be put in? That's another Bandai Namco.
We have Yoshimitsu as a UFS character already. So Yoshimitsu has existed in
Did they make Tekken?
in UFS, yes. But I'm not positive whether it's Tekken or not.
Yeah.
If in UFS. I'm not
thi-
positive which is
I don't
which.
think they should bring him in as a Soul Calibur character. I feel they should save him for Tekken if they ever touch Tekken.
If not, if they ever do decide to maybe like put him in, maybe they'll make him as promos or something.
Then there's like a high chance that if Bandai if Bandai approves of like all the Soul Calibur cards that they're making and they like approve of like the publicity that they get from it or something along those lines, there's a high chance that they might let Tekken go through. Because Tekken's a really big title, and boy, would I like to play like Warong and Beck and stuff like that.
No idea. I haven't played that game either.
Oh.
I used to go to. I sometimes go to Beercade, which is a local drinking establishment. And
That
got a
has
buddy-
terrible cabinets.
I've got a buddy Mitch who plays a lot of Tekken in the upstairs cabinet.
Yeah, they have Tekken 4 there or something
think
like
so.
that. Tekken 3 or Tekken 4, I don't remember.
Is Yoshimitsu in the Street Fighter in the
Tekken.
Soul Calibur section?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
No.
No.
So he might come back.
There's a
Yeah.
Yoshimitsu.
Okay.
I don't know.
I feel like he'd have a lot of safe attacks.
Maybe.
What I'm hype about is Lizard Man. I want him back.
Lizard Man?
Yeah.
Oh, did they like bring...
There's
was it
3 Lizard Man characters, so.
Oh, man.
Soul Lizardman.
I'm trying to think of like what other super fun characters there were in Soul Calibur. I can't like think of the roster off the top of my head. I know Astaroth would be like really cool to bring.
Or
I mean-
Baldo.
Ivy.
Yeah, Baldo. Ivy, yeah.
I bet. I mean, she might have some range stuff,
She's
right?
got assets.
I wonder if she will play the assets.
That'd be pretty
That'd
sick.
be interesting.
That would be pretty sick, actually.
Who's a
Revealing the assets.
here's a reveal an asset. That'd be funny. Here's what I want. Only for selfish reasons. I want Cervantes to exist. Is that his name? The pirate, the zombie pirate guy?
Yeah, Cervantes. That's one. Yeah. He has a gun.
Only because I think the costume would be sick.
That would be cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Arr.
And I'm super down to go
we
be a
have,
pirate at
Yoshimitsu.
Worlds.
Cervantes de Leon.
So down.
What do you do?
I didn't do anything.
Oh, Raphael.
So what do you think Soul Calibur should bring to the game? Like we've said a bunch of weapon stuff. We've said probably lack of range and tech.
Throws.
You think throws are gonna make a comeback?
Throws are pretty big.
We haven't really had throws in like the past 2 sets.
I think if they print Astaroth is going to be a throw character,
Okay.
Mhm.
seeing as he's a throw character.
That makes sense. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
I hope Safe actually makes reappearance.
Is it hard to reversal in Soul Calibur?
No.
There's certain times where certain attacks are
Very
safe.
hard to read.
Yeah.
So sorry, I'm interrupting you.
No,
Like
you're
the
good.
worst.
Explain.
So Soul Calibur is fundamentally a game. Soul Calibur is like fundamentally like a game of just like reading what your opponent's doing
Mhm.
and punishing everything they have to do unsafe. And if you can read what your opponent's about to do, you can fuck them up.
Okay.
But it's also a game of like being really aggressive and having a lot of different like doing like a different line of attacks every single time, so your opponent doesn't know like when to parry and they're just kind of stuck blocking. And if they block too much, then their guard breaks and then you get to mess them up.
Cool.
Mhm.
But most of the like super good people, I got to play like one of the better dude who got second at Denver locals when the game first came out,
Okay.
and I got messed up. But like you can kind of tell like the difference between like a really high level strategy versus like somebody who's a little newer to the game. Like newer to the game, you kind of like focus on spacing a lot more, and then like higher level play, they just rush you down as fast as they possibly can. And they make it that every option that you see like seems really unsafe, or like you can't attack or something like that because there's just a move swinging at you. So one of like your biggest plays is to just do a guard break, or not a guard break, but just to do a parry, and then you get a free attack after that. So that's kind of like how the back and forth goes in Soul Calibur, and it's really fun. There's a lot of sidestepping. Ooh, that would be a good card, just like sidestep.
We have it. It's called Dodge.
It is called Dodge, but sidestep's way cooler.
Man, you know how sick it would have been if they reprinted Dodge as a Soul Calibur card?
And then
As a Soul Calibur promo?
Yeah,
Man, that'd have been way cooler. Fuck.
There was a card called like Stage Kill, right? That
Like
was
that.
printed before.
We have Stage Kill right now.
Stage or
Ring Out?
yeah, Ring
Ring
Out.
I believe Ring Out was a card, yeah.
If they reprinted that card was like busted, wasn't it? Or
No, I think that card is actually pretty fair. From I want to say Shane was talking to us about it on after the Poughkeepsie, or the Collinsville PTC, excuse me, after the Collinsville PTC. And like you had to have like 2 of them and some condition, whatever. I know a lot of the vets of UFS got into the game playing Soul Calibur, playing Soul Calibur. Do you think Soul Calibur is gonna have an influx of people? Do you think Soul Calibur is as good as like a Mortal Kombat to get people in?
I think a lot of people like Soul Calibur's characters
Mm-hmm.
more than they like the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just.
I mean,
just
that might
because-
be just more incentive to bring them in. Then.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So I feel like if people like characters, that normally attracts people better than them liking the game a lot more. Well, when Street Fighter came out, did it get a lot of influx of people?
It got enough.
Got enough?
It got enough. It wasn't really until Cowboy Bebop when the meta changed and
I feel like if they make anime, I think anime brings in more people than fighting games do,
absolutely,
because we're not Japan.
totally. Oliver, what do you think?
It just all depends on what characters come in and stuff like that. I think like a lot of my friends who played Soul Calibur, they love Soul Calibur because it's just this long story narrative that's also a fighting game. Street Fighter doesn't really have that to
Okay.
the degree of Soul Calibur, so maybe people will just come in because, oh, this character has been in for so long and the lore behind him is just so cool. I want to play him in this card game now because he's a really cool character. He's my favorite character. I think if they choose the right characters and the right support, I think there'll be people that'll come in for sure.
I think the thing that Soul Calibur has that's really cool is all the characters look really epic.
Oh yeah, that
that's
is true.
That's like one of the kickers. Like characters like Mortal Kombat, there's some that are kind of boring. Like Kano, in my opinion, is like a really boring looking character. So like on the appeal of if you didn't play Mortal Kombat or knew nothing about Mortal Kombat and you're going in to play a card game that involved Mortal Kombat, and you'd see certain characters like Jackie. Jackie's kind of boring looking. You know, it's not like Jax. Jax is way more, robust, where he's got 2 metal arms.
He's more robot.
He is, yeah, he's more robot.
Yep.
Street Fighter's got a lot of boring characters. Ibuki, who's just like your standard run-of-the-mill ninja.
Yeah.
Ryu, who's...
White fighter and red fighter.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you got Soul Calibur, who's just like Siegfried, who's got this long, flowing golden hair and this giant armor. And then guess what his weapon is? The biggest sword you've ever seen in like ever.
Made out of crystals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then you get to see Nightmare, and then you're just like, who's Nightmare? It's like Siegfried, but he's got cooler armor and a sword with an eye on it.
Ooh, how exciting.
No spoilers of the Soul Calibur story.
Like Sophia, whatever her name is.
Sophie.
Sophie.
Yeah, we'll go Sophie. That works.
Sophie, I think, is like a pretty kind of a blander looking character, but still cool. Like her shield is really colorful, and her sword's, you know, pretty standard dagger looking.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like everyone's like armor, like just looks pops. Like they just look cool.
Armors and weapons. I feel like each character has this weapon that just looks very badass, and they do badass things with this weapon.
And characters are also super defined by their weapon, which is also like another thing where people kind of like find a lot of relations to it. Like Street Fighter, you know, normally the character that defines you in Street Fighter is more of your play style, and not what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
When I feel Soul Calibur, it's the other way around, where it's just like my character looks cool because I like looking cool. You know, people like. It's like the people like Donatello in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Damn right. Donnie's hype.
It's because his weapon's awesome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He uses a staff.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
And he does machines.
He also does, he's also the nerd.
So with that, before we jump onto Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and the fact that I think it would be one of the sickest additions to UFS, I want to bring this episode to a close. Thank you so much for watching this episode. If you like the content, please do all the cool YouTube stuff. Like,
rather
comment,
have-
subscribe.
Power Rangers or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Would you write that down on the board for next week? Because that sounds hype.
That's topic 4.
I need a week. I need a whole week to talk about it. If you truly like the content though, and you want to throw us a couple bucks, go to patreon.com/TCG University. We've got some pretty rad stuff going out, and because of your support, we get to make a bunch of really cool, interesting new content. So thank you guys very much, and we'll catch you in the next one. Stay learned.
All right, see you guys.
You
Get
did,
learnt.
you did that out of order. Stay learned, been learned, get learned.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.